Imagine constant air raid sirens, automatic gunfire, and sudden blackouts becoming your daily reality. That's what's happening in Russia's Belgorod region right now. Ukrainian drone attacks on Belgorod have surged nearly fourfold since the beginning of the year, bringing the war's harsh realities directly to Russian soil. Residents describe terrifying experiences, hiding from explosions, and losing power for extended periods. This escalation is Ukraine's direct response to Russia's ongoing bombardment of its own cities and energy infrastructure. With critical power plants hit, thousands in Belgorod are without electricity. Authorities are even asking people to buy their own generators. But fuel shortages and soaring prices make that nearly impossible. The war, once seemingly distant, is now deeply impacting everyday life for Belgorod residents. What's your take on this escalating situation? Subscribe the channel for more updates. Or picture this: 100,000 teachers, nurses, and public servants all walking off the job. That's exactly what happened in New Zealand this week in a massive mega strike. Workers across the country are demanding better funding and resources for vital public services, like healthcare and education. Nurses spoke out, highlighting unsafe staffing levels and patient harm, while teachers explained they're leaving the profession because they don't feel valued and fear for the future. Despite extreme weather and significant disruption, huge rallies took place nationwide. The government, however, called the strike politically motivated and unnecessary. But here's the kicker: a poll revealed 65% of the public actually supported the strike, with even some government voters agreeing. What's your take on this monumental action? Big news from Canada: they're planning a massive economic pivot away from the US Prime Minister. Mark Carney announced Canada's goal to double its non-US exports in the next decade. Why? American tariffs are creating a chill in investment, making Canada's strong ties to the USA vulnerability. Industries like autos, steel, and lumber are already under threat, and businesses are holding back. Carney says the long-standing close economic relationship with the US is effectively over. Given their fundamental shift on trade and high tariffs, Canada now believes it simply can't rely on one foreign partner and is actively re-engaging with global giants like India and China to diversify its economy. This won't be an easy fix, but it's a necessary step for Canada's future. What's your take on Canada's bold new direction? Let us know in the comments. The US is ramping up its anti-drug campaign, but it's sparking major controversy. In a recent escalation, US forces carried out a second strike on an alleged drug boat in the Pacific, killing 3 people. This followed an earlier strike that killed 2, bringing the total to 5 casualties in a short time. US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth calls these targets narco-terrorists and says the strikes will continue, expanding a campaign mostly seen in the Caribbean to now target major Pacific drug routes. However, Colombia's government is strongly denouncing these actions. They call the strikes disproportionate and outside international law, arguing it's like applying the death penalty without due process. They're urging the US to cooperate instead of using military force. Beyond drug trafficking, some also believe these strikes are intended to put military pressure on Venezuela's government. What's your take on these controversial US actions? Subscribe for more updates.